Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to a time long forgotten. To the time of the arcades. And to the time when Magneto was awesome! Welcome, everybody, to this special Let's Play for the month of May, which is the X-Men arcade game, based off of the Pride of the X-Men, or the 80s arc of the X-Men. I am, of course, being joined by my usual rogues gallery of Shadowblazer 3000 and Andrea. Welcome, everybody, to X-Men the arcade game. We have referenced this game how many times now, Alex?
A lot.
And now it's time for us to actually play it. So, let's just get to it. I know for a fact you guys haven't played this before. So we have actually the option to make this 6 players.
Wow.
But we're doing a local game, so maybe we'll. You know what? No. The 6 player is widescreen, and I wanna get that. Yeah, so people might be confused by this. There were actually 2 different versions of this arcade machine. One was 4 player, where you could pick your character, and the other one was a 6 player game. It was 2 screens, panoramic view. Each controller was set to 1 X-Men.
Huh.
So, and strangely enough, we actually were one of the few areas or places in the area that was really close to us that got the 6 screen one, or the 6 player one. So now we have this. We're gonna go ahead and set things up to normal, because that's the usual easy difficulty here. Because this is just having fun, people. This is just going into the memes. And and of course, if you guys don't know who these people are, we'll get to that in a second. So, go ahead and, I think all you have to do is press X. So you have a choice between Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Cyclops, Dazzler, Nightcrawler, and there you go. If you don't know who Dazzler is, think Jubilee. They have similar powers.
Alright.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Wolverine, because he's awesome.
I'm gonna pick Nightcrawler.
I'll pick Cyclops.
You have to speak with a German accent, then.
No, I don't.
Kurt Faulkner is German. Is he not? Okay. So this is gonna go ahead and do it. We have 3 players. It's time to go.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aimed to destroy the world. Humans could do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men.
So he apparently controls the Sentinels.
Go and save the city.
Yes, Professor X, we will! Actually, at this point, he wasn't even known as Professor X.
What was he, just Mr. X?
No, he was Charles Xavier up until about the 90s when they actually gave him the title, I believe.
Oh.
I might be wrong about that, because I don't know much about early X-Men. About around this time is when I started following it. So, square is the basic attack, and triangle is your mutant power, but it does cost health to use it, so be very sparing. And I believe if you die, like, you get a game over, you actually can switch your character, so feel free to do so. Because one of the characters is actually a con meme now, which we'll get there if we get there. But as you can see, we're not having too much of a problem. Ouch! F you guys, then. Excuse me. It's been a long day recording, people. I am actually very excited that we can finally play this, because not A, it's awesome, and B, it's freaking awesome.
Just awesome.
It just is.
Everything is awesome.
It's one of those things that really made me wish for a 90s era X-Men game, and it never happened in the arcades. Well, that's not true. We did get an X-Men game, but it was a fighting game, because X-Men Children of the Atom happened. Which is kind of the catalyst for games like Marvel vs. Capcom. Because first we had X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and then we had X-Men vs. Marvel Superheroes, and that eventually led to Marvel vs. Capcom. Which,
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Rest in peace, Marvel vs. Capcom. Because I really don't think we're going to get a 4th installment.
Konami, I take it?
No, it was Capcom, but they don't technically have the Marvel license anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, come on. Screw you!
Ow.
Yeah, if you get overwhelmed with enemies, feel free to use your mutant power, because that'll help clear the screen a little bit. Especially night crawlers, because he'll bounce around.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it's Nightcrawler that has the German accent. When did Scott Summers have
Nightcrawler, that's why I said Andrea had to speak German.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. But that,
No,
like,
no.
I was like, when did Scott Summers speak with German?
You're just a dick.
Yeah,
you're
I'm just-
Cyclops, man.
You're just a big party pooper.
So, if you don't know who this character is, you apparently have never watched the X-Men series. This is Pyro, aka that one kid that they tried to have a rivalry between Iceman and him in the Brett Ratner film, and it sucked.
Right.
Especially since it had 2 movies of build-up. And they did nothing with it. Oh, just die, Pyro. Well, keep in mind, we are fighting the original Brotherhood of Mutants, and Pyro is an active member. So people might notice that the X-Men do not look familiar to what they're used to, depending on what area you grew up in. I grew up in the 90s era, where they had other members and other costumes.
Of course, you like the one, the change with Storm having the mohawk.
I do, so I actually have to admit this, I do not like the way Storm looks in Pride of the X-Men. That's not one of her better costumes. I actually think that the 90s is when she had a really good costume, that all silver getup. And before I get the social justice warriors coming out of nowhere, look, at that point, if you want to criticize my view on that, it's very simple. In the Pride of the X-Men arc, she's wearing a swimsuit. In the 90s, she was wearing a full-on bodysuit. Granted, it was skin tight, but it was still covering way more. Oh, I'm sorry. The social justice warriors would go the other angle, wouldn't they? They'd be like, you gotta empower her! No, we really don't.
She's already powerful.
She is, actually. And yes, you had to bring up the Mohawk. That's the worst Storm arc, as far as I'm concerned. It's supposed to be Storm from the future. And it's not that I'm against women having Mohawks, I'm against the Mohawk, period.
You just hate mohawks.
I didn't get into them. I didn't see why they were popular. Except I guess in the movie concept where bullies would have mohawks, so maybe that's the reason why. I'm that geek that got bullied. We have to go over here.
Funny, you go backwards.
I know, it's a beat 'em up where you go left.
These guys with the guns, they look like really muscular SWAT bots.
Yeah, or I remember as a kid thinking they looked a lot like Juggernaut because of the big helmet.
Right.
Okay, we just have to watch the door. Oh, and there goes Nightcrawler. Xavier would be proud. Can you guys tell I haven't really played this until now? I played on friends' PlayStation 3s. That's the irony of it. It's like, let's play back X-Men. All right, cool. Let's do it.
Where am I? There I am.
You're off in the left corner. And I am dead, so I'm going to see if I can change. Oh, nope, won't let me change. At least I didn't.
Maybe
When I experimented, I
You still have 3. Well, you still have 3 lives.
No, I just barely came back in. Oh, did I actually set the... Hold on, give me a second.
What?
I hope I set the credits to be infinite. Otherwise, we're gonna be screwed. Ow! Somebody threw a sentinel at me!
I like Nightcrawler's jump kick there. He can really shoot far.
Oh, yeah. Oh. It's too bad that in the Friday the X-Men arc, he was considered to be not as religious as his later character arcs would be. He would occasionally hit on the women.
Very hard to imagine.
Well, because in the Pride arc, Dazzler is the new one. That's why I'm saying she's very much like Jubilee in that aspect too.
Well, how come they change? How come is she supposed to be Jubilee? Just
No, Dazzler's her own character.
that's why I wondered.
The difference is that
Cyclops!
where in Pride they actually tried to help her out. The way her story goes is she's a pop artist. She's a singer.
Yeah.
And so at that point, when she did the Pride of the X-Men art, she was trying to hide that concept so she could continue to be
Oh yeah,
famous.
I remember her, but
So they had to stop that whole thing, and later on they just basically made her a random character they'd come across. Who was still a singer, don't get me wrong. Alright. There we go. And more Sentinels! And I'm dead again! See, Wolverine dies a lot.
how can he die? He's supposed to be
He's immortal.
immortal, pretty much.
But who really wants to live forever?
Good question.
Oh, is this it? No, not yet. And we now have our second encounter with the Blob!
Moves the blob!
Nothing moves the Blob? You need to rethink your aspect here. No, you cannot change characters, because I just basically slammed every button.
Yeah, but it looks like when you went into the pause menu, you can have the option of choosing.
Yeah, unless that takes us out of the game, who knows?
I don't know.
It could be that it's set in the 6th player, and so everybody's set, but I'm not sure. We don't care.
Well, we do care. Half the fun of beat 'em up is rotating characters.
We're just beating them up like.
Well, if we need to swap this up, we can.
No!
That's okay. We'd like to keep the same character if we could.
And of course, the old school Konami, we have to have the boss blink so you know how far along you are with him.
I wish more bosses had indicators.
I actually would dare say that the Turtles the arcade game is the one that made that a thing that you had to do. Alright, so that's the next level.
X-Men! X-Men! We have been taken by Magneto.
Oh no!
However, we had time to locate their base on Island M. Destroy it.
Kidnapped. How's that a trophy? And hey, you don't sound anything like Patrick Stewart.
No, you don't. Or James McAvoy. What the crap, game? So, they call it Island M. I think that they're actually referencing the Savage Lands. I'm not sure, though. The reason I think that is because we have Animal Man, and the Savage Land was known for that. So I might be wrong. People can clarify that if they want, because I know of Asteroid M, but I don't think there was ever an Island M. I think they're just referencing the Savage Land. Which, technically, we should be doomed, because the Savage Land, at least in some arcs, doesn't let us access our mutant powers.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I remember that arc there.
It was also a comic arc, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Screw you.
they weren't able to use their mutant powers.
Yeah, and Charles could walk.
Which is weird how that...
Yeah, I've never liked that whole concept, like, when he can't be telepathic, he's not paralyzed anymore. Especially since I think it is canon that it was a war injury that caused that.
I thought it was like another mutant that caused his...
I know that there's been multiple origins on why he is in the chair, but... I think there's even an origin where just like First Class, Charles put him there. Or Magneto put him there.
Alright, that's what I was thinking of. What do they call you? Wheels?
So while we're making our way through, people have actually been asking us this. Alex, what are your thoughts on Hugh Jackman
Wolverine.
coming in for X-Men Apocalypse? And he's coming in basically the Wolverine outfit I'm wearing right now. That's the hinting.
Well, I figured he was coming back for Apocalypse. I didn't know he was coming back in costume.
Yes, he's getting a new costume. That was the part that threw me off, was that they announced he was going to be wearing a mask. Because the movies follow more of the Ultimate Universe, and in the Ultimate Universe, Wolverine's never masked.
Do you like him masked?
I like him masked, just because I like how the mask looks. I get why they wanted to remove it, because it does seem kind of silly for Wolverine to be using a mask. When people have openly seen who he is. You know, he has no problem pulling out the claws in civilian garb. And there are too many government agencies that know who Logan is. And of course, we also had the announcement of Wolverine is getting one last Wolverine movie. Hugh Jackman is. And then at that point, we're done. And supposedly, there's talk that we are going to replace Wolverine with X-23. Oh, it's that time!
X-Men, welcome to die!
Oh, that meme.
Welcome to die.
It is so worth it. There we go. X-Men, welcome to Wendigo! So this is actually not Sabretooth, where a lot of people would think. This is the Wendigo, who is technically an Incredible Hulk villain. But there's a reason that there's a tie to the X-Men comics, because the first comic that showed the Wendigo was the first comic that introduced Wolverine.
Wendigo!
Awesome.
Wendigo! Make him blink, people! Make him blink! Yeah, I was really hoping to get Colossus in here because he's also a meme. And he is the meme of which gets referenced at like every con. You have to do the
Wolverine!
F you, Wendigo. So we have killed the Wendigo. Not really. He'll come back
Go
later.
and rescue Kitty from the cave.
Ooh.
We need to
What's her name, Kitty?
Yeah, her name was Kitty. Black cat, right?
No, because that's not who he's referencing, I think.
Isn't Kitty the one that can go through
No,
walls?
that's right, because Kitty Pryde was introduced, I think, around this time. I'll take care of the Sentinels.
We'll
This
take
is
that.
also the time where they decided that Wolverine should have an Australian accent. Even though they clearly established his origins as Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian. He's Canadian.
Yes, the cartoon actually had him at one point say, "Shrimp on me bobby." It happened.
I believe it.
Ah! Alright, gentlemen, let's plow through.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Bats. There's so many games, gotta have so many bats!
I hate them! I can't remember the quote now from maybe GM. I know what you're quoting, but why do there have to be so many bats? They're just like the Medusa heads from Castlevania! Strangely enough, we're talking about another Konami game.
Konami.
Why did I make that mistake? Now people are gonna hate me for that. It's like, can you keep the difference between Konami and Capcom? Yes, I can.
Capcomian, yeah, something.
And I already know another question that we're going to get is, eventually, since I do have the X-Men arcade game, do I have the other one that was released? Not the other X-Men game, but the other Konami game that was released in the PS3 era. And yes, we will get to The Simpsons eventually. I have it, so we don't have to worry about that.
Jump kick! I missed. Jump kick!
Okay, set him up, knock him down.
Line him up and knock him down.
Ow. Ow. Okay, keep it going.
Wolverine.
We're gonna. One of the comments we'll get is gonna be, "You guys suck so bad."
Yeah, we don't care.
All right, we don't care.
It's for fun.
It's meme worthy. It's awesome.
Who doesn't like playing these
Okay,
kinds of...
we were literally standing in the fire, Alex, and it didn't hurt us until we moved.
Cyclops!
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
We took a step and then it hurt. There we go. I don't even know what stage we're on, but this is glorious.